10 weeks ago today, I underwent a total double mastectomy and immediate reconstruction with tissue expanders. So the recovery is full on.
Meg Herman has been on an intensive rehab regimen.
Being a BRCA2 gene carrier means that you have a 70% risk of developing breast cancer in your lifetime. In 2020, when I was 22, my mum was diagnosed with breast cancer. Choosing to undergo genetic testing is a very personal decision. It is something that not everyone chooses to do, but for me, I would be able to access potentially life-saving screening and risk-reducing surgeries, but only if I underwent genetic testing.
It's a decision which can change the course of your life, a blood test to uncover genetic faults that might increase the risk of disease.
During my session with the genetic counsellor, they explained to me that if I was a BRCA2 gene carrier, that I was likely to experience some level of restriction in what life insurance I would be able to access. So the recommendation before you decide to undergo genetic testing is to go take out life insurance first.
We know that it's legal for life insurance companies to use people's genetic results to discriminate against them. And that means they can deny them cover, they can increase their premiums significantly or put conditions on their cover because of genetic risk. Because of this, we find that a lot of people decide they don't want testing because they're concerned about the future financial implications for themselves or for their family members.
In 2019, the life insurance industry temporarily stopped its own requirement to disclose genetic test results, but only for policies worth less than $500,000.
So as a person who is a BRCA2 gene carrier, I will never be able to take out more than $500,000 in life insurance cover, which a reference point for me is $240,000 lower than the median house price where I live.
Beyond the cap, it's also up to the industry to self-regulate whether preventative treatments, like surgery, are taken into account.
Finding out I was a BRCA2 gene carrier encouraged me to make a lot of lifestyle changes, and I'm probably less likely to develop breast cancer than the next person on the street now. And yet, a smoker can go and ask for a higher level of cover. They might pay a higher premium, but they're still entitled to a higher level of life insurance cover than myself. And that is indescribably frustrating.
Genetic counsellor and researcher Dr. Jane Tiller is calling for stricter industry controls.
Insurers should be on board with encouraging people to have genetic testing, to find out about their risk and to be able to better their health because they'll be better insurance prospects in the long run. However, to do that, they need to remove this risk of discrimination, take their hands off and say, we won't use this information against people. At the moment, the fact that they won't let go of that is causing people to not have the testing and to die sometimes of diseases that they could have prevented.
My name's Cherie Deer. My husband, Paul Deer, was the ex-Hawthorn footballer. He won the Norm Smith Medal in 1991. And Paul died of pancreatic cancer in July 2022.
Cherie and her husband weighed up getting genetic testing.
When I looked at treatments around the world and, people that we called the outliers, the survivors, there was two pieces of information that kept coming back. And one was that we should get Paul genetically tested to see if there's anything in his genes that predisposed him to pancreatic cancer.
The information could have helped inform treatment options, but there was a catch. Their children would have to disclose the results to life insurers in the future.
Any information that came out of that could actually then impact on our children's ability to obtain life insurance. And so It was such a difficult decision to make at a time when you shouldn't need to be making those sorts of decisions on top of what are the best treatment options to try and give my husband the best chance of survival.
Cherie plans to allow her children to decide whether to test. In the meantime, the Albanese government is calling for submissions on possible legislative change.
I think there's a case for a change to be made, and I put the industry on notice that I think it would be extraordinary if the status quo remained in place. If you look around the world, Australia's an outlier in this regard. I think we're going to see more of it, not less of it. We want to ensure that our laws are up to date.
The peak body for insurers says the industry is supportive of regulation.
Life insurers have never wanted to deter anyone from taking a genetic test and having the information they need to manage their health. We want people to access this information, and we want them to have the peace of mind and confidence they need to go and do that without worrying about the financial implication. That is why we support the government regulating the use of genetic tests in life insurance underwriting.
Cherie Deer welcomes any laws that would protect her children.
I personally, am very grateful for life insurance and the services that they offer. But, we can't just keep putting profits before people. And I understand they're a business and they want to make money. But at what point in the equation is it just all about profitability rather than providing a fair service?